Imagine a scenario where the celestial universe is governed by absolute harmony. Angels of pure light fulfilling their functions, governed by divine love and a common purpose. At the heart of this perfection, a dazzling figure emerges, Lucifer, the bearer of light, a majestic being endowed with incomparable intelligence and beauty. According to religious accounts, he occupied a special position, being closer to divine glory than any other celestial being. But how could such an exalted figure rebel against his own creator? The answer to this question carries one of humanity's greatest spiritual dilemmas, the conflict between obedience and the desire for independence. Lucifer's fall was not just an event, it symbolizes the possibility of rupture in the midst of perfection. And this raises a crucial question. Does free will, even granted by divinity, always carry the seed of pride and self-sufficiency? Lucifer's rebellion is often associated with pride and the desire to be like God, but what does this mean spiritually? In Christian theology, Lucifer's ambition was not limited to a simple desire for glory, but to a break with the principle of humility that underpins the heavenly order. He did not want to be admired, he wanted to rule, to transform creation according to his own will. This selfish desire symbolizes a turning away from the divine light, something that many interpret as the origin of all evil. Now, think for a moment, how many times in everyday life do we also deal with the temptation to place our will above moral and ethical laws? The story of Lucifer not only narrates the origin of evil, but also reflects human dilemmas regarding pride, vanity, and the search for power. Here, a powerful reflection arises. Are we capable of recognizing the moments when we distance ourselves from our essence out of vanity or insecurity? The war in heaven, the result of Lucifer's rebellion, is described as a cataclysmic event. According to the book of Revelation, the archangel Michael led the heavenly armies against the forces led by Lucifer. The result was the definitive expulsion of the rebels, who fell like stars from the sky towards the earth. This moment is interpreted by many scholars as the definitive breaking of cosmic unity. However, beyond the grandeur of this spiritual battle, the true impact lies in its meaning. The expulsion of Lucifer symbolizes the separation of what is divine and pure from what has become corrupt. And here another question arises for the audience. Is this separation definitive? Or is there any chance of redemption even for those who have fallen? Many theologians argue that Lucifer's greatest punishment was not physical punishment, but the loss of his connection with the Creator, a spiritual and existential fall. This leads us to reflect on how dependent we are on our own spiritual connections to avoid falling into our own internal wars. Another intriguing point is the impact of Lucifer's fall on creation as a whole. His fall affected not only heaven, but also the earthly world, according to some religious traditions. Evil has come into play in order to influence humanity, with Eve's temptation in the Garden of Eden being one of the best-known examples. In this sense, Lucifer's fall was not an isolated event, but a turning point in the universal balance. This raises profound questions about the nature of good and evil. Is evil something created or merely the absence of good? And if so, Lucifer's fall represents more than an act of rebellion. It illustrates the tragic result of a complete disconnection with divine origin. Consider the complexity of this. Could the falls we experience in our lives, be they failures, mistakes, or losses, also have their origin in a disconnection? Can we restore our inner light when we fall into moments of darkness? In the end, Lucifer's story sparks reflections that go beyond the theological plane and reach the deepest dilemmas of human existence. His name, which once meant bearer of light, has become a symbol of pride, fall, and darkness. However, it is impossible to ignore the parallel with our own journey. Who has never faced moments of pride or excessive ambition and paid a high price for it? That is why this story continues to be so fascinating and relevant. It reminds us that the search for power and control, when motivated by ego, distances us from what is most divine in us, the ability to serve with humility and love. And, at the end of this video, we invite you to ask, what do you believe is the true lesson of this story? Is free will a blessing or a curse? Share in the comments, because I would love to hear your opinion.